to where.
The middle of the fourth round.
Okay.
So let me
Actually,
would be
you know what?
What up?
This one is we want to see this because he's doing the diagrams. So I guess are you almost home?
No, I'll be home in like 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah. So
You want
yeah.
to wait till you
I
get home?
mean, I mean,
Yeah, I
I don't see
should be
why
able to do it
I don't see why you can't share the screen though.
because yeah,
What are they doing?
yeah, I'm not that computer literate when it comes to shit like this.
Well, when you press share screen, right, and it says share your screen, right?
Well, okay, what it has here says entire screen, Windows, Chrome tab, cancel share, share system audio.
You can press on it. You should be able to press on it where it
Press on what?
says
Press
your
on the
screen.
YouTube.
No, your screen.
Okay, I'm pressing on it.
Okay, now when you press on your screen, right? Then
Now,
press share. Then press share because you already got it locked onto your screen, right? Now press share.
no, that it just put me back there. Let me go back to share. Mm.
Because once you press it on your screen, when it says screen, share screen, once you press that, you're supposed to just press share, and then it's supposed to pop up.
Okay, well, see, you're being kind of vague here. Now, should I go to my YouTube
See,
tab and
once you
which
do
tab?
that, it should reverse your screen to where now you can see what's on your screen. We can see what's on your screen now. So that's what it is. If we can't see what's in your screen, you're not sharing it.
Okay, now I'm on my YouTube page. What do I need to do on the YouTube page?
Nothing. Just play the video once you share it. Once you share the screen, you just play the video. Like I said, once you share the screen,
Mm-hmm.
everything that's on your screen should pop up.
Only thing that's popping up on my screen is me and you.
But that's what I'm saying. You're not sharing it.
But I clicked on share screen, share screen.
See, but that's what I'm saying. It says you pressed on share screen, right? But then you
Yeah,
gotta go where it's give you an option of what you want to share. You want to push the option of share your screen.
that's what I pressed.
But then once you press the option of share your screen, then you press share.
Hmm.
Your computer probably don't do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a Chrome. I got a Chrome notebook. I mean, a Chromebook.
Should be able to do it though. I don't understand that.
Shit.
Should be able to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I should be able to do it, but oh fuck, no. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Damn. All right.
So just listen. Just listen to the audio till I get home.
Okay. Now I gotta put the tab. Put a new tab in. Oh man.
Take yourself out again. What up, Ra? What up, Rashamir? Yeah, okay, brothers. we'll wait till that brother come back in. We're gonna be speaking on the root races today. I'm out and about in the community right now, so I couldn't share my screen or do to facilitate the video. So the brother was trying to facilitate. He's computer illiterate, so he keeps popping himself out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is where we at. So yeah, I'm over here by USC, trying to go to the store before they close. Hopefully the brother come back in and just want to just play the audio. Just play the audio.
Just appear for a second. Let me.
Yeah, just play the audio until I get home.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just putting my. I got rid of everything. Come on, come on, come on.
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, I'm just going to play it. I'm just going to play it, not to the part where he's going to start. Damn, come on.
Gates are better left unopened.
Okay.
To the lowest plane,
Okay.
and then it ascends back to the spiritual planes. So we have a process
Okay.
as the 7 planes of the universe. So we have a plane.
Okay. Are you hearing it now?
The first logos.
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay.
That is the plane of unity from which everything sparks. Then we have a second plane, the plane of duality, the second logos. Then we have the third plane, the plane of the triplicity, the third logos. The triplicity, which is the creative principle in the universe. This is what most religions talk about when they talk about God, the creative God. Now,
Pause it right quick.
Okay.
4 further planes.
Yeah.
Basically speaking on how the divine spark, right, are spawns of the primordial mother. The divine sparks are, and we were once, or we are still, through quantum entanglement, connected to the one, the all, which is the mother,
Yeah.
the mother, which is the primordial mother. That's the conscious unity. Go ahead.
Okay.
Making 7 in all. And the absolute reality would be like the whiteboard. The absolute reality is the background for everything there. So the process of, let us start by examining the evolution of our planet and the life that is within the planet. In the theosophical view, our planet is on the lowest of the planes, which is a physical plane. So this
Bam!
is
Boom! That's a bomb right there.
Yep.
That's a bomb of realization right there.
Physical planet that we know, which is on the lowest planes, is holding a particular evolution, a particular wave of evolution, if we want to call it that way. But the process of evolution does not begin on the physical plane, as we say in theosophy. The process of evolution, as I explained before, begins from the spiritual planes. It descends to the lowest plane, and then it ascends back to the spiritual planes.
Right. That's how they constructed the pyramid.
We have an
That's how they
ascending
constructed the pyramid from the spiritual
in the
plane down.
consciousness.
From the spiritual plane down.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The Egyptians or the Kemites, they completely emulated life and the life principles are the principle of the all. They completely emulated that in
Right.
all of their in just about everything they did.
The consciousness, the cosmic ideation that is produced by the Logos, or that is the Logos, begins to fall deeper and deeper into matter and differentiate, producing innumerable sparks, and each one of those sparks are ourselves or other forms of life. Once that spark reaches the physical plane, it acquires a physical body. So we see animals, plants, minerals, or human beings, all with a physical body. But the consciousness of humans, animals, plants, etc., has not begun on this physical plane, as we are saying.
No.
It began from the highest of the manifested planes. So, for example, what it is said in theosophy is that on this plane, on the plane that is right below the third logos, our consciousness undergoes a process of evolution. This is the first stage. That stage is a stage of beginning to differentiate. Then, after that process of evolution is accomplished there, consciousness descends one more plane and undergoes again a cycle of evolution in that other plane. Then,
right. They talking about also the evolution.
Down and
How
another cycle.
order
Finally,
became chaos. Chaos became order.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because if you follow the cosmology of chaos, the primordial entity referred to as chaos, it started off in this state of non-consciousness. When it came to reality, it had to come into balance. It had to come into balance with itself. That's where the meiotic principle come in, because now you're in duality.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose is to balance yourself with yourself.
Okay. Now, this is not the end of the evolution. This is actually the central point in evolution, and at the same time the lowest point in evolution.
Central and the
Because
lowest.
after the evolution on this earth finishes, we will have a process of ascending back to the highest planes. So we will have a cycle of evolution.
Pause it right quick.
Okay.
Plane.
Because I think a lot of people will hear him using the word evolution and think that he's talking about biological evolution, but he's explaining how even the biological world started from higher planes of existence.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about evolution, don't think about Darwin's theory of evolution.
Darwinism.
No, we're not talking about Darwinism.
No.
I just want to make that clear, because I think that a lot of people hear evolution and that's where their mind go to.
Yeah. Okay.
Please. There will be another cycle of evolution on a higher plane, and finally another cycle of evolution on a yet higher plane. So if you see here, you can see that there is a pattern of 3, 1, and 3. because there are two states on each one of the planes, except for the last one, for the bottom of the cycle. The bottom of the cycle is
they show on the she's showing an illustration right now, huh?
cycle of
Yeah.
evolution, or sub-cycle, if you want
To explain his point.
Mm-hmm.
in which all adjustments are produced. So the descending arc is one of becoming more material. The ascending arc is one of becoming more spiritual. The middle point is the one where spirit and matter are at war, are in conflict.
Yeah.
It is the one where the motion that was.
You hear that? The middle part is where spirit and material is at war and conflict.
Show a picture off your phone.
Well, he's just explaining. He's not showing a diagram or anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. When he does, take a picture of it. And just...
Okay.
Towards becoming more material, now has to switch to turn into becoming more spiritual. And that change in motion produces conflict, because we have all the past pushing in a direction, and now
he said it produces karma.
apply to stop.
No, he's talking about that part where I've been telling you, where the descent. Okay, we're running into this friction where evolution has to start ascending back up, but at the same time it has to neutralize the energy that's been descending down.
So it's basically like I said, it's like balancing itself out.
Yeah,
because it has to compensate for the slack.
Well, no, okay, we're at the middle, the central part of our evolution. Okay, which is cosmic separation. We're at the most physical point in the lowest. All right. Prior to that, the energy's been descending. We descended down into this. Okay. Now we have to reverse that energy. And after neutralizing it and reversing it, start ascending back up. And that's where the conflict begins. So there are forces that are
talking about the archons,
Yeah. Archonic energies that want to retard our evolution. And then there's aeonic forces that here to help our evolution. You have Aeons and Archons. You heard of Aeons before, right?
Yeah, I've heard of them, but I'm not sure.
Well, the most important Aeon in our story is Sophia, who is the mother of the demiurge, or she would be the mother of the creator of this universe. Yeah, you see, when she had Yaldabaoth, she did it without the masculine principle. She did it on her own. Although the first mother did have a son, the Immaculate Birth, and I guess Sophia tried to do the same thing too. But she wasn't as mature as the other mother. Sophia was the 12th Aeon, so she was the mother Aeon. Her name is Barbelos. Okay, she's forethought, and Sophia is afterthought.
Forethought and afterthought.
Yeah. So forethought fucked up and had Yaldabaoth. And she tried to hide Yaldabaoth, but he got loose and he got her. He took her light from it, and he used her light to make the universe. And then she tricked him into making man. And she used man to get her light back from Yaldabaoth that he stole from her. Because when Yaldabaoth breathed his breath into man, he gave man the light that he stole from Sophia, which made man greater than him. And then Sophia went up and brought something from the pleroma, some light from the pleroma, and brought it down here and put it in man. Sort of like the Prometheus story.
Where you stole the light
from the gods and brought it down to man.
Right.
Yeah, Sophia, she broke a piece off of the
Thank you.
the Most High God and put it in man. It made man greater than Yaldabaoth. So one day man will rise up and replace the gods.
Right.
That's why Yaldabaoth is a jealous God.
This is why the gods are so caught up in the affairs of humanity.
Well, yeah, because humanity.
Right.
Yeah. See, the gods are playing the same role as the pharaohs did in Egypt.
Right.
Yeah. They don't. They're afraid that at some point we're gonna rise up and take their ass out.
Right.
Yeah. Are we gonna rise up to our rightful place, and they're gonna have to bow down to us?
Right.
I think they are very, very afraid of that. Can't blame them. I mean, if you've been in power for all these eons, it'll be kind of hard to let it go, especially to something that you fucking made and it's going to rise up and take your place.
Right. Right.
Yeah. All right. Here's some more.
A particular motion and to reverse it. So usually in this model, the fourth cycle of evolution is the one that is more problematic, the one where we find conflict, where we find clashes. So this is the general diagram of the cycle.
Let me take a picture of this diagram. Come on. I'm sending you a picture of the diagram.
Okay.
On Earth.
I was saying share it, put it on your screen, share it on your screen through your phone so the listening and viewing audience can see it.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay, so damn, I know how to share it to another phone, but I don't know how to share from my phone to my computer.
No, all you gotta do is just share it, show you put your phone up to the screen so we can see it.
Oh, put my phone to the screen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, like massive, like covering too much.
You do it. Right. Okay. Are those the spheres of evolution? Those are spheres of evolution, right?
Yeah, this is 0 point, and this spear 1, spear 2, 3. Shit. Okay, we're down here. We're right there.
Right.
At the bottom. That's the 4th root race. And we're the 5th sub race in that. So now you see where I get the flower petals from?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the point in the middle. All right.
Different subcycles within each one of these major cycles. These 7 cycles are called in theosophy, each one of them are called globes. So there are 7 globes, particular process of evolution. These 7 globes are called a chain of globes. Now it forms like a chain. So we have within a chain 7 globes. Now, when we say that consciousness evolves on the first globe, let us call it, many times you will find them called by letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So when consciousness begins to evolve on the first globe, globe A, it doesn't evolve just at one. There are 7 subcycles within that particular globe. So each globe has 7 periods of evolution. Let's call them periods. Once these 7 periods of evolution are accomplished on globe A, then consciousness goes to the lower globe, again 7, so we will have 7 here, goes down again 7 periods of evolution, then down again 7 periods, then back to Earth, and again 7 periods, and then it will go up again 7, 7, 7. So you have 49 periods of evolution there. Now these periods of evolution on Earth, in our current cycle of evolution, they are called root races. The word root races means the roots of the different cycles of evolution, not the roots of what we call a race, but the roots of a new cycle of evolution. You know that in many traditions, even in the Bible, there is this reference to a universal deluge.
Yeah, where you at?
The idea is that there was a particular creation with people and animals and plants. And then there is a universal deluge, after which the culture and life has to start over. So we have Noah, for example, that was told that there was going to be this deluge, and he was asked to save some representatives of the different forms of life so that the new cycle can be started again. The idea in theosophy is that there were on Earth,
You there?
this civilization is the 5th civilization that has been on Earth. The previous civilization is what is commonly known as Atlantis. So before our particular civilization, there was, according to theosophy, a previous one, which we know only of the last pieces of that civilization, which is what we call Atlantis, but it was a civilization that was all around the globe. And then there is, in the philosophical view, this changes of continents. So the continents that this previous civilization was occupying, they sunk into the ocean, and new continents appear, which are the ones that we are inhabiting right now. Now, according to theosophy, as I said, this is the 5th civilization. Before the Atlantis was the 4th civilization. Before that, there was a 3rd one also. and two early ones, but these other two civilizations were really physical. The first two
Right. I
civilizations,
already figured that out.
beginnings of
Hmm.
I figured
consciousness,
that out. That they wasn't physical
first
civilization.
and other last
They
one.
weren't physical.
Yeah.
I figured that out a long time ago. And this is why I try to explain to people how we can't relate to Atlantis because we descended into physical existence.
Right. Yeah. See, yeah, that's some that see science don't know how to explain that.
No, they
Science,
don't.
and
Well, they
so,
do. They have theories. They have theories. That's about it.
but they're not even going to release that type of history anyway.
Right.
That's why I sent you this book by Graham Hancock, which was explain that, in which something that Bobby Hemmett said a long time ago too, that they were talking about all the different periods in Egypt, all the different dynasties, and how many thousands of years they ruled, and then they asked them who ruled prior, and they said a bunch of gods.
Yes, that's what they were talking about because they hadn't fully descended into physical existence at that time on in those prior dynasties, those pre-existing dynasties.
Yeah, well, this was pre-dynastic.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
of course. That's my point. Is that
uh-huh.
they hadn't descended totally into physical existence in those dynasties. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this
As a
was
matter of
before.
fact, I look at Egypt or Kemet as them warning humanity of this evolutionary change. Because everything was set up on trying to facilitate the evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is
Yeah,
set up like that.
yeah, and it's a trip that when we set Kemet up, we were declining. We're on the decline.
Right. That's the point. That's my whole point.
Yeah,
So
it
we
was.
knew it, but we knew it. So we set a lot of stuff up in order to when we come back into conscious unity, it could be like not easy for us in a sense, but it will be like um, little clues on the way, on the path. It will be
Yeah.
clues.
Uh-huh. Well, he's going to explain that, this is the fourth time we've been around on this round. So we probably already knew what to do.
Right, right,
Yeah. Yeah. Since, they had more access to the Akashic records because they were coming out of spiritual unity. So they still had access to cosmic files, but they
right.
were losing it. They were.
The Akashic record is nothing more than our genetic memory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really all it is. The genetic memory of all these evolutions that we had.
Well, they were connected into a whole lot more. Yeah, well, the prior evolutions, and I guess they kind of understood where we were going in the future too, because we've been there before. But they knew we were going to go to a point where we're going to reach our lowest level, where we're going to forget everything. We're not going to know shit, and we're going to need to have something. We're going to need to have something.
So they set up Egypt to allow that descend and that rise back up to go smoothly, go more smoothly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me get back to Pablo.
Language. And then, little by little, humanity and the animals and everything else become physical. So the first civilization that was physical was the third one. At the middle, it is said that at the middle of that period of evolution, that root race, as it is called, it became physical, more concrete. And then there was this fourth civilization, the Atlantis, and then the current one that is the fifth root race. Therefore, there will be two more civilizations on Earth before the evolution is over. So we have these several periods of evolution that when referring to humanity on the planet Earth, we call youth races, and these 7 periods have to be accomplished. Now, let me introduce a little more complexity in this, because we are talking as if there were only one rotation around the 7 globes. Now,
Wow. So there was so
to
this
accomplish the whole
complete Brahma happened more than one time.
Well, this is what I've been telling you.
Brahma. So the age of Brahma happened more than one time. Then it happened multiple times before already.
Well, it's supposed to be 100 days and 100 nights of Brahma altogether.
Right.
And so when we go around 7 rounds, when we go 7 rounds, that's a day of Brahma. And then there's a night of Brahma,
Wow.
which is, and then we begin another day.
Right.
Or we begin the next 7 rounds. And then after those 7 rounds, you have the night of Brahma, which is the same period of the 7 rounds.
And what is that? What was that shaman said? It was equal to how many years? Like 500,000 or something. Like how much he said?
He was saying he was comparing them to yugas, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he was saying that you have to go through so many yugas to compare to one of these things. So this is beyond the yugas.
And the yuga is what? He said what, 5,000?
Well, the yugas is a period where the Earth goes around Sirius or something.
Right.
Our sun goes around a greater sun every 26,000 years. But it's
right.
It's like in a figure.
Right. And it's a complete circle every 50,000 years.
Well, we're circling around Sirius while we're still circling around Aeon, which is the central sun.
What is what they call
sun of the Milky Way.
Right.
Okay,
which is a black sun. It's a black hole.
Well, there's a black hole in the middle of it. Yeah, it's sort of kind of hard to explain. It's a black hole, and the light around it is the central sun that it creates, and they call it Aeon.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the father, or it's the great great grandfather of all suns in the Milky Way. Yeah, it make Betelgeuse look like the moon.
Damn. And right. That's crazy because Betelgeuse is what, like a couple of hundreds of our suns and shit.
Betelgeuse will fit all the way past Jupiter. Well, Saturn.
How many of our suns can fit in Betelgeuse?
Oh God, I don't. Yeah, let me see. Let me Google. How many suns?
And Betelgeuse already went into supernova, right? I believe it went into supernova already.
If we take into account the higher radius estimate, we can put 1,400 trillion Earths and 1.06 million suns inside Betelgeuse.
Wow.
Did she say 1.6 million suns?
And Earths. She said she calculated the number of Earths and suns that can fit in Betelgeuse.
Yeah, so she said 600 trillion Earths.
So if this central sun you talking about is bigger than that, wow. That's just unfathomable.
Yeah. And what about galaxies that are bigger than ours? And what about a galaxy that their central sun is about the same size as our galaxy? Imagine a galaxy that damn big.
Damn.
Imagine what type of beings would live in that galaxy.
Right.
Yeah.
I would suggest, like I said, I'm the the television and movie buff. So I suggest people go watch that Agents of Shield series. So they go into how the latent parts of our genetics is going to introduce the root races and shit, the new root race.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They're already prepared for this shit. They're getting us prepared for it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the whole thing is for the concept in the show is called kerogenesis, right? And literally it's basically a mechanism that is supposed to activate the latent parts of the DNA. And it's crazy because that's speaking exactly to what's going on with our evolution right now. It's like in certain parts of our DNA, latent parts of our DNA that's opening up right now because we're vibrating higher now.
Yeah, that junk DNA. I was listening to Bobby Hemmett talking about that, and he was saying that our DNA, that junk DNA, when it opens up, actually, he was saying that the other 10 sephiroths on the tree of life represents the other 10 strands of DNA. Well, actually, it's 10 sephiroths and 1 sephirah. So it's 13 strands.
Right.
Yeah, Doth would be the 13th strand.
Right, but anyway, it literally is speaking to how a number of humans, because in the program is they are spreading this pterogen, right, which is a chemical, alien chemical that's supposed to activate certain humans' DNA because they got it in their DNA, right? But the ones that don't have it, they turn into some ashes. They turn into ashes.
Oh,
right? When they get exposed to the pterogen, you know what I'm saying? The ones that got the latent DNA, they they open up their superpowers. But the ones who don't, they turn into ashes.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what they're talking about.
Yes, they don't know exactly what they're talking about.
They're talking about people that don't calcify pineal glands. People.
Exactly. Not only it's not only calcified pineal glands, it's these recessive genetics and these artificial genetics that are going to be, you know what I'm saying, burnt off. It's going to be singed off. They turn into ashes. They turn into ashes because that's a metaphor for the phoenix rising. Everything cinders and ashes when it rises.
Yeah. Well, in this case, only the true essence, the primordial essence remains.
Right. So, but when we get to the essence, like on a biological level, right, what is literally happening is that the molecular structure of our body are intensifying the rotation and of the atoms, the nucleus. I mean, the proton, the neutron in our molecular structure. They're vibrating faster now, right? So that friction is the heat that we're seeing in global warming.
Yeah,
that we're talking. Yes, because as it vibrates faster, is more friction. So that heat that's generated is what we're referring to as global warming.
Ooh, man! Imagine we start processing.
So that heat that's going to burn all of this false reality up. It's going to burn it up.
Yeah, no,
that's what's happening.
The hybrids are the
right.
Yeah, the artificial intelligence or the counterfeit spirits.
Right.
The shit that did not come here from the original creation. Everything that's not a part of the original creation burns. It burns off. It burns away.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, here's more Pablo.
There will be 7 rotations around the 7 requested. Please use we are according to federal law. All passengers must wear a face mask to ride metro. Please there was a definition of
Segunda ley federal, se requiere el uso de una mascarilla para viajar en el metro. Por favor, mantenga su distancia física cuando sea posible.
we have a chain of globes, of 7 globes, and
Approaching Jefferson and Hoover, followed by Jefferson and Royal.
each round around the globes is called round. So we have 7 rounds to accomplish the whole aim of evolution on Earth. So we had already 1 round, a second one, a third one, and now we are at the middle of the
Stop requested. Please use rear exit.
So
You hear that?
Yeah, we on the fourth, fifth one.
We're in the middle of the 4th round.
We're on the middle of the fourth.
Yeah. So we've been here before.
summarize here all these different cycles.
Approaching Figueroa and Jefferson, connection to the Metro Expo line, followed by Figueroa and USC McCarthy.
Accomplish the evolution in one globe.
Wow, he's talking about it accelerating or it jumping a quantum leap in the evolution. He's talking about a quantum leap in the evolution.
No, he's talking about 7 root races, 7 root race, and one globe. So I guess he's saying 1 globe per root race. So A is root race 1, B is root race 2, C is root race 3, we're root race number 4. But the 5th civilization of that root race. Okay.
To accomplish 1 round of evolution. And life of consciousness has to go 7 times around these globes, 7 rounds, so that one chain or the evolution in one chain of globes can be accomplished. And of course, if you the chains of evolution in the whole solar system, but we are not going to get into that particular cycle. One chain, the
Approaching Figueroa and Exposition.
For 7 rounds. This is called the Earth chain. After the 7th round, then the Earth will be dissolved. In Theosophy, it is said that the Moon was originally a planet. The Moon went through its 7 rounds, and it is in the process of
Approaching Figueroa and State.
So from the Moon, a new cycle of evolution started on Earth. And eventually, the Moon will completely dissolve as the years pass. And we are talking, of course, about a large amount of number of years. And we are going to see about in a little bit about the duration of these cycles. But the idea is that at a certain point, the Moon will be completely gone. And when the Earth accomplishes its 7th round, it will also begin to die away, to dissolve. So at the moment, in the Theosophical view, we are on our 4th round. The 4th round around the 7th globe. We are on the 4th globe, which is the Earth, the globe B. So within the rounds, we are on the 4th globe. Within the globe, we are on the 5th period or root race. The Atlanteans were the 4th. As you can see, we have 4th is a the point of the war between spirit and matter. So the Atlanteans was the most conflictive point in the evolution in our chain, in our Earth
Approaching
chain.
Figueroa
You hear that?
at 39.
Yeah, I hear it.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Say it. What? No, do it again. I didn't hear it.
Okay.
It broke up for a minute. Go ahead.
All right. Let me see. 36.
So the Atlanteans was the point in the evolution in our chain, in our Earth chain. And it is said in the theosophical view that the Atlanteans actually had to be, because it was turning towards absolute evil. The conflict was too strong, and spirit or consciousness was not strong enough to be able to overcome matter. So this civilization was, from a certain point of view, cut short, and the new civilization started. We cannot go into any details about this. And just my point here is to point out to the fact that we are at the very bottom of the process of evolution, just going a little beyond the very bottom of the process. So it is expected that the evolution of consciousness will involve still quite a bit of struggle and conflict. Now, let me say one more thing. Each one of these root races, as we said, we are in the 5th root race,
Subrace.
has of course 7 sub-cycles, which are called sub-races. So one root race.
So here's where he fucks me up. He just said we're in the 5th root race, but we're on the 4th globe. And each globe represents a root race. But I guess he got it, the sub race mixed up with the root race, because we're the 5th sub race. But he said we're a 5th root race. I don't get it. We're on the 4th globe. There's 7 globes, 7 root races. And we're on the 4th globe. So unless we're the 4th root race going into the 5th root race. But I think he made a mistake.
Is composed of 7 sub-races. Now, these sub-races are closer to our idea of root race, of what a race is. So these sub-races are more similar to the idea of ethnicity. Now, the idea is that the whole humanity is undergoing.
Oh, so the sub races are the biological aspect of what they're referring. So they're not. You have to make a distinction. That's a distinction right there. He just made.
Yeah.
So he's talking about. He's talking about race, which is a construct. It's a social construct. There is no scientific. I mean, there's a social construct. There is no scientific basis for race, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this is the only reference point that they had, especially because it's coming out of India. This whole philosophy is coming out of India. So you can see how they're using race connotatively to explain this evolutionary process that our spirits or our souls are going through. So
was that India or Tibet?
Well, that will be India and Tibet too. That all of Asia, basically, where this information is really coming from.
Yeah,
right.
That's
for the most part, India though. That's where you get all of these concepts from India. Yeah,
because that's where a lot of the stuff is still intact. It's more, theirs is more intact than Egypt's, the Kemites.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're using race. They're using race connotatively because it's associated with the concept. You know, this is where the race paradigm was created in India, right? Where we have the social construct of race, white at the top and black at the bottom, right? Which is it's a social construct, and that's what people get it misconstrued and try to tie it to science, and it's not. There's no scientific basis for race, so they're just using race as a connotative reference point to what most people are orientated to. So he just said it. He made a distinction. He's not talking. We're not talking about biological races. When he says the root race, the sub races represent this biological root, these biological races.
Yeah,
right? The sub races represent that.
Yeah, well, he's gonna, gonna put the wider races. You hear what he say?
Right. I can only logically. That's the only logical conclusion it can come to, though. I already know where you're going with it. That's the only when you're dealing with the biology, and from the biology to the spiritual. This is the only way you can ever conclude, because we're talking about artificial, hybrid spirits intertwined, and those who have the all spark, right? And this is the whole basis of why they was attempting to be accepted as humans too. Right? This is where they know that they're not human. They're man. They know they're not human. They were not human. They know they're not biologically coming from the same genetics of the mass majority of humans on this planet. They know they don't. They're experiments. They're hybrids, and they really don't have nothing to do with this higher evolution. So
no,
well, they play a part in it. In those who have the all spark, but
the part that they played was that they were the most impurest part of us.
That we had to pierce ourselves from, or purge ourselves from, right?
No, we needed them to take us. We had to go in order for us to become a new race, or new people, or new entity. We had to go to our lowest point. We had to putrefy, go to our lowest point, and we weren't going to do that on our own. We just didn't have that in us. So we needed help
to go to that low.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. And so that's why that was one of the main reasons why they came, to help us go to our lowest level.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So we can go complete the alchemical process. Now, I can say God has gone to its lowest level that it can go.
And all it can do is rise now.
Yeah. Thank y'all. Yeah, I've been
right. Right. You're right. No doubt. It really has. that adversity that made us stronger.
Yeah. And not just genetically too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were raising amongst them. Yeah, so I was thinking about, when we was watching last week video on the Gullah Wars, and then I was thinking about some shit that Bobby Hemmett said about 9/11, that they didn't shut the country down because of a terrorist threat overseas with some Arabs. No, They shut the country down because of the threat that they have right here amongst them in their own country.
I agree.
Yeah, they're afraid of the monster that they already have over here. And they have to keep everything on lockdown to keep this monster contained. I mean, shit. If you saw what happened in the Gulf Wars and shit, we had to be all out monsters then. Now that was during that was a physical war. Now, what happens when the war turns spirit? Now that the war is spiritual. You there? Smoke them if you got them. And I don't mean cigarettes. You there, man? Oh, there you are. You can share it now. You can share it now. It's you can take it to 38 minutes and 20. Just take it to 38 minutes.
All right, give me a chance to settle down first.
Okay.
Keep it going though.
Huh? Okay.
Keep it going.
All right. Here we go.
Period of evolution. Within this period of evolution, different sub-races, different ethnicities appear, and the soul has to go through each one of these different ethnicities, and not necessarily in order. It is said, for example, that the first sub-race is what we could call the Indo-European race, or the people from
the people from India.
Right. Race is the race that is more related to the Germanic and Nordic ethnicity. The fourth sub-race is the Latin race. Now, at the level of sub-races, there is not necessarily a progress of evolution in the sense of that the fifth group race or sub-race is higher than the first sub-race. At this point, these are all different stages. It's like if you are painting a paint, if you are drawing something.
You and I both know the Latins were not in Atlantis, okay?
Right.
Yeah. And he said that was the fourth sub-race. Okay. I don't think the Latins were here when the Atlanteans civilization was on the planet. But hey, this is as good as it's going to get. Okay.
Something. You can start by the background, you can start by the head or by the foot, however you want. And the background is not better or more evolved or higher than the foot or the head. They are all necessary, and it's just a question of how you are developing your painting. Now, the idea with the sub-races is that they all develop a different aspect of what humanity needs. So no sub-race is higher than the other in an absolute sense. Of course, each sub-race develops something in particular. So, for example, usually you will find in the fourth sub-race a greater development of emotions and arts, because that's the quality of the fourth sub-race. And then in the fifth sub-race, you will find a greater development of the mind and intellect and the typical intellectual or Western philosophers. And the first subrace, like in India, you will find more a development of spirituality. And you can see that one subrace may have this emphasis on one aspect and lacking some other aspects. So these subraces can be seen as classrooms where you incarnate in this subrace to develop you as a soul, the ability to feel and the aesthetics and the artistic aspect. Or then you incarnate in another subrace to develop the physical aspect or the intellect or spirituality. So we go through all these subraces. At the moment, the cycle of evolution on Earth has reached the 5th subrace, and the 6th subrace is beginning to develop in the world. So it is said that in a few centuries, the 6th subrace of the 5th root race will begin to develop or will begin to be a little more predominant. So we are at this moment, if we go to this particular list, we are in the 5th subrace. And as I said, there are traces of the 6th subrace that are being generated. So as you can see, the law of cycles is very fundamental in how evolution proceeds. And let me show you some of the duration. Of course, we are talking about cosmic scales of time. So the duration of each one of these cycles is really long. And even though we don't know if I'm going to share with you some numbers that Blavatsky showed. And she says, numbers are usually kept in secret because they bring the key to manipulate nature. And until humanity is unselfish, to give these keys is dangerous, and it would be a curse for humanity. So numbers are only approximate. They are really secrets. But we can see what numbers she gave to have a general idea about what scope of time we are talking about. So, for example, the 5th root race is supposed to last about 8 million years. Blavatsky said that because there is also an overlapping. When the 5th root race began, the 4th root race was still alive. So there is always an overlapping. Blavatsky said that the 5th root race began completely independent from the 4th 1 million years ago. But as you can see, since we are in the 5th subrace, we have already gone halfway the root race. Although not each subrace does not long exactly the same. You know, it's not that you have to divide the whole into 7, because with each subrace has a different duration. But to have a general idea, the 5th root race on this planet is alive for 8 million years. Then for how long is evolution going to be on globe D, which is the Earth, in this particular round? Remember, we are here. This is the 5th evolutionary cycle, the 5th root race on Earth. And then when the 7th cycle is accomplished, we'll go on to E. But then we will keep going on and accomplish the 4th round. So we will be on Earth again a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th time. But let us forget about that for the time being. And let's see for how long are we going to stay on Earth during this particular round. So Madame Blavatsky says that we are going to be here approximately for 14 million years. Since the beginning, remember that we are already
How could she be so sure? Talking about approximately.
I don't know.
Says that the
What
point
is now? Then that's where they get me is when they come up with these numbers within their society, and they really don't give you how did they come up with that calculation.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, we had two root races, the first, the second. So we have gone, and we have been here a long time, not always in a physical form. And we, as I said, we can consider that we are just past halfway of the cycle. But again, that doesn't mean the exact half at the level of years. But to have a general idea of what kind of periods we are talking about, the whole evolution on Earth in this particular round takes 44 millions of years. And now, what about the whole fourth round? From A, B, C, D, E, F, G, before we start the fifth round. Well, according to Madame Blavatsky, that takes about 617 million years. That's the fourth round. So you can see, and then, of course, this fourth round is only one of 7. So you can see how when we talk about evolution, we are talking in a scope of cosmic number of years. We are not talking about in terms of human civilization. For us, 5,000 years is ancient history. And yet 5,000 years is nothing within the scopes of time that we are talking about right now. So the idea is that these 7 rounds, how long will it take to accomplish the whole chain, the 7 rounds around these 7 globes? So the idea here is that the whole chain is this is how long in years is going to.
Oh shit!
What?
He just put this number. He wrote this number down.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to. I don't know if this is 4 trillion. It's 4,370, 000, 0. Wait, I can't see the. Let me go back. Oh, okay. Oh, that's 4.32 billion years. That's the same, about the same time as the sun been around.
Until it falls into state of what the moon is now, is going to last. And that is really just a small portion of the amount of years that
No, I think that's 4 trillion years.
lasts. Because the idea of the whole universe is that this amount of years is called in Hinduism a kalpa. And Blavatsky says that.
Let me take a picture of this. Are you able to share yet?